Hi, everyone. It is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here. Welcome to IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to have you here. If you're new, you're going to notice at the top right-hand corner, it just popped up, QR code. Take your phone, scan that QR code. It will transport you magically over to my link tree, which has a plethora of great information to improve the quality of your life and everyone else in it that you care about. Every week, we have a brand new topic, and then every day we have a subtopic. So you're definitely going to want to stay tuned to what we're doing. A lot of great stuff. And welcome to my loyal subscribers that have been coming for quite a while. Grateful to have you here. And hopefully, some of you that are just checking me out will decide to become loyal and long term as well. All right. So, what is the topic for tonight? Well, you guys probably know what the topic is for tonight, but I'm going to tell you. It's what would you like in your box of chocolates? This is the series, and it's episode number 5. All right. So, we've been talking about chocolate all week. And the thing about proverbial chocolate is there's things that you want, right? But the things that you want may not necessarily be things that you understand. And so I want to ask you a question right now. What do you want in your box of chocolates? And you're going to say to me, John, I don't know. We talked about a lot of great things that should be in your box of chocolates. I think one thing that I would like to have in my box of chocolates is going to be a sense of understanding. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that people come from all walks of life and dichotomies. And so I want to have more of an understanding so I can better understand people quicker, easier, and build rapport even better than I do now. So that's what I want. I want that piece of chocolate to be able to transform me into a person that is just there to help that other person, and someone that the other person's going to see as non-threatening, someone they see that wants to help them, someone that they want to see actually has their best interest in mind. And also, when I think about that, I want to have the chocolates, the people that want to value what I do. Okay. So when we think about that, a lot might come to mind. One is, first of all, how does that happen? Well, I think to be able to understand more people quicker, faster, more efficiently, you have to work on making sure others understand you. What are you talking about, John? Well, we have to realize that we live in a glass house, right? And everyone else lives in glass houses. So if we throw the first proverbial stone, we have to realize we live in a glass house too, right? And people can throw stones back at our glass house and break the walls and the ceiling. However, when we dive deep into understanding, and I want to go over to the dictionary, and you know where I'm going to go to. I definitely want to thank my friends at Merriam-Webster. And so when I think about understanding, that's what I want to uncover today. Understanding. Understanding is a noun. Okay. It's the power of comprehending, and it's the capacity to apprehend general relations of particulars. It's the power to make experience intelligible by applying concepts and categories. A mutual agreement not formally entered into, but in some degree binding on each side, friendly or harmonious in relationship, an agreement of opinion or feeling, an adjustment of differences. So an understanding is a way of putting all the pieces together in a puzzle. Yeah. So you got all these different pieces, right? All these different parts. And so when you can figure out how to put them together, right, you've got an understanding. When you talk to others, maybe the first thing that comes to your mind is that you don't understand them. But are you doing that because of your initial reaction? Or are you trying to really listen, see, and understand? And so to understand, we need to put our agenda away, put it in the drawer, put it in the closet, put it in the fridge, pack it in a suitcase, because your understanding, okay, comes from how well you relate to others. So if you create a very good bond, and now suddenly this person just notices that you're there and you can pick up on things, they're going to connect more to your words. Have you ever been in a classroom? I'm sure you have, whether that be a school classroom, whether it be a college classroom, whether it be, let's say, a trade school, doesn't matter, whatever it is, or maybe just a workshop you went to. When you're in that classroom, the first thing you're probably saying to me is, John, I don't understand what he's saying, or I get it. I know everything he's trying to do. Well, if you understand everything he's trying to do, then what's being talked about or shared is going to stick to you. What's he talking about? Stick to me. I've mentioned this concept before, that when we have a good foundation in our lives, we're able to stick other things onto it. So if you have a good foundation like your home, you're able to build upon it, right? Same thing happens in our life. When we have a great foundation, then we're able to build upon it. But we have to have a very strong foundation. In our brain, when we have a strong foundation and we figure out what somebody else understands or knows something about, then we can latch that to something we want them to learn more about. However, if I just start talking to you about physics and you have no clue about physics, but if I say to you, well, you know how cars work, right? They either go forward, they go backward, right? And you probably played with the little cars from different manufacturers like Tonka and other toy manufacturers. And so when you had these Matchbox cars, that's the other one. You know that if you take the car and you basically kind of go back and forth, and you like, oh, it has a wind up mechanism, right? So we have something called potential and kinetic energy. What the heck is that, John? What is potential energy and what is kinetic energy? So the difference between potential energy and kinetic energy, what do you think it is? So potential energy is stored, okay, in that object. And when we think about kinetic energy, it's the one that is the energy. Okay, so if we wind up, let's say, one of those, dolls or those toys, and you wind them up and they go, or little Easter eggs, or those little funny little creatures, and you wind them up and they like walk, and all right. So when you wind it up, right, we're actually putting potential energy, and then the kinetic energy is the actual energy that's happening. So kinetic energy is energy that is part of a body by its movement, okay? And potential energy is the energy by a body by its position. All right. So if we think of potential energy, right? And we were to pull, right, a rubber band back, right? It's possessed by a body by where it is. So by it being pulled back, a rubber band is actually, what do you think? Is a rubber band potential or kinetic energy? A pulled rubber band, okay, I'm sure you've done this before, is potential or kinetic energy. What do you think? So the elastic band is potential energy. It has the ability to snap when it actually goes into motion. Then that's kinetic energy. All right. So the way I help you understand that as I relate it to a Matchbox car, or I related it to a rubber band, which you all have used rubber bands in your life. We've all played with Matchbox cars, I should say. And so another thing that causes us potential and kinetic energy is, let's say, for example, you were to take this. Uh, let's say you had a stand, where you'd basically be hitting the ball like t-ball. Okay, before baseball they have t-ball, and so if you take it and there's a string, and let's say rather than it having this metal thing which usually swings around, let's pretend for a moment that there is a string or wire, and so that when I hit it, it actually causes it to loop around. Okay, springs do this too. Now it has kinetic energy then, but then when it's all the way wrapped around and it can't wrap anymore, it has potential energy until it transfers it to kinetic and it unwinds, right? We've seen things like that. Springs, our garage doors are perfect examples of that, right? When we have a garage door that is in one position, it's kinetic energy, right? The door's going down. Potential energy, just on the fulcrum of it starting to go down, that's potential energy. Because its position, it's about to go into kinetic. Pretty cool, right? So I just got you to understand a very important concept of physics, which is potential and kinetic energy. If I started off by saying, gee, well, potential energy is something that's just a mass, but because I compared it to something that you already know in your life, you're like, oh, I get this, John. And you see, by virtue of understanding, the more we can create an experience for someone, the greater chance that they will remember it. That's wacky. Yeah, it's really wacky. So, understanding potential and kinetic energy. Let's talk about a ball. All right. We got a ball. And I've got the ball. And if I was to drop the ball by position, okay, the ball is going to go, it's going to drop and it's going to go down. All right. So now it would have potential energy up here. And then when it's about, let's say, to go down like a slide or something, it was to be pushed, it would have potential and then go into kinetic energy. So your body has potential energy and has kinetic energy. If you took your arm and you were to push it against a wall for a while, right? And then you were to let go, well, by its position and by the pushing, you would have created potential energy. And then when you moved away from the wall, it would just rise up. So, whatever you want to learn in life, I don't care whether it's chemistry, whether it's relationships, whether it's science, physics, technology, you can learn anything if we first understand where your base point is. And then if we get where your base point is, any good teacher, instructor, or mentor will be able to get you to make the associations to things you already know. And then by virtue of that, you're like, oh, I get it. This is so easy. It's not that it's easy or hard. It's that the person that was explaining it to you was able to make you understand it because they use things you already know. If you were to go to college and take a 300 or a 400 level course and you never took the 100 level course, you'd be like, what's he talking about? Where are they going? I have no idea. And it has nothing to do with whether you're smart or not smart. It's that you were never given the basic foundation for that course content. So when you're taking a 400 course and they're talking about things like linked list, or they're talking about database multi-frames, and you're like, or they're talking about pointers and how this relates, and variable parameters and regular parameters. Now, don't get lost in me, but I'm just trying to prove a point here. That's very foreign. But if you would have had the prerequisite courses, 100, 200, 300, which are the prerequisites for the 400, then you would be able to go forward. So the 400 prerequisite is a 300. The 300 prerequisite was the 200. The 200 prerequisite was you had to take the 100. And so by association of that, you now have a foundation. So this is why I tell people, whenever you want to learn something, learn slow, don't learn fast. You want to build that foundation slowly and with a real strong point. This way, whatever you put into it is going to be very stable. It's going to be very memorable, just like that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege and pleasure and honor to be with you today, as it is every single day. Hey guys, I got a hat on. I'm sure you see it. Believe and achieve. Before you can achieve anything, you have to believe it. There's my QR code. You can scan that QR code. That'll take you to my link tree, believemeachieve.com. And in about another month or two, you'll be able to go right to the top link there and click on buy a Believe and Achieve hat, or we'll customize one just for you with your name, with your logo, with your pet's picture, a vacation picture, a slogan. Doesn't matter. Maybe a favorite number. I thank you so much for tuning into IFYL tonight, and I hope you'll like the channel, show some marks, and also comment below. How does this resonate with you in your life? And I would really love you to tag some of your friends, your colleagues, and your associates, and then share it out with everyone you know on social media. Be so grateful for that. And once you do that, I want you to go over to youtube.com, type in my name, John space C space MRLEY space serial entrepreneur, and look for that key phrase to help keep our content free. Once you do that, I want you to click on that PayPal link and make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We're so grateful with those pennies, those dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, new staff, and even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, yes, hat-lifting content to get you on fire, to be passionate about what you want to achieve in life, your destiny, your goals. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening or morning. And you know I'll be back, which is tomorrow, Friday, with another, yes, proverbial piece of chocolate just for you. Have a great night, everyone.